Good afternoon, folks. So today we're going to talk about the Helix Stomp versus the Helix LT, looking back at it. Because a while back I made the decision that the Stomp didn't have enough DSP, didn't have enough slots to make me happy. And I mean, this isn't rocket science. It has 6 slots, and if you want to do dual channel, dual amp, and my cat is about to send my fender flying. There we go. So it really limits you in what you're doing. It assumes you're going to add other pedals. It assumes that you are either putting it on a board with other things or that you're keeping it very simple. And for the most part, I keep it pretty simple. But I really like running dual channel. And if I scroll through most of my settings, the vast majority, dual amp, dual cabinet, plus reverb, delay, an overdrive, something. I mean, there's enough things in there that it just wouldn't work. And could I do it? Yeah, I have some presets in there that I like that are not set up like that would perfectly well fit in a Stomp. I don't ever use them. I just I probably use them 10% of the time. And the reason is simple. They don't sound as good. I'm running off one PA speaker that is directly in front of me under the camera. And even with one speaker, it sounds so much better. It's a whole different world. It gives that big room, lots of speakers, lots of power feel without needing all that extra equipment, without having all that volume. And I think that's worth keeping in mind. I think that if there's something missing in your sound that isn't a tone thing, it's just there's a certain quality to it that isn't there, try this. Do the dual channel, even through one output, and see what you think. It's kind of hard to do at a store where there's a bunch of other people playing, but if you can go into a boutique store or catch Guitar Center or Sam Ash on a quiet day, try it out. Do a quick rig single channel and a quick rig dual channel and see what you think. I run dual channel most of the time, and because of that, I'm very glad I went with the LT over a Stomp. I think in the future, Stomp 2, Stomped, whatever they call the next gen, when they add a little more DSP to it. I just read a forum article where they were basically saying if it had 8 blocks, most people would be happy. And of course, there's always the question of marketing. If it had 8 blocks, would Helix be shooting themselves in the foot? Would Line 6 be shooting themselves in the foot with the larger units? Because do you buy a Stomp with 8 blocks or do you buy an LT? With 8 blocks and dual channel, I'm probably buying a Stomp. So they got me for $400+ over the Stomp because of that. They made more money. And I'm not necessarily saying that's a bad thing. I think that they have to differentiate their market. And the beauty of the Stomp is that it is tiny. I mean, it really, you're talking something the size of a large pedal. Put it on your board, have other pedals to fill in the effects that are missing, go to the front of the house or go to a preamp or a power amp and a speaker, you're great. This takes up some real estate. I mean, I've got it up on my desk and I use it up here, but I mean, it's taking up a big chunk of my desk. If you got limited space, that's a pain in the butt. But I think that if they go to an 8-slot system, they're going to charge significantly more. I think they're going to make it $700 or $800, and maybe it's just the mini LT. It's not a Stomp. It's a mini LT. They lose the pedal, cut off a row. It's this big, where you lose one row of buttons You shrink all this stuff down here in a little bit, move the screen down a little bit, uh, maybe make the screen a little smaller, and you could probably cut the size of this thing by 30%, uh, which would be significant. It would really get it down to a much more reasonable size. But Stomp versus this, and that's really where it's at, is the added DSP. Unless you need the size of a Stomp, or you've already got a pedal board that you're really happy with, and you just want to add the Helix's abilities to it, but you're probably still going to use most of your pedals. You're not looking for a pedal board replacement. Then yeah, the Stomp works there. But otherwise, no. I think that, at least to myself, I have proven that an LT or a full-size unit really makes the most sense. It's more space, it's more money, but you're getting what you pay for. You're getting more board, more power. Forget the buttons. I mean, you can make that work a million different ways. With the Stomp, you just use a preset and you switch between presets that you've already programmed. But having the extra DSP is a huge difference. And it's not the total slots. It's what you can do with them. It's the dual channel, it's the dual cabinet, dual amp. That just doesn't work in a Stomp. Honestly, I never use the pedal. I use it a little bit for a volume control because I've got two channels, and what I do is one of them, the one I might turn off. I don't normally bother with that, but if I've got one where I may not want to have it all the way on, boom, that lets me adjust the volume, which is basically adjusting the mix between the two channels. All the way out, my second channel is gone. All the way in, second channel is at full power. It's kind of handy. Occasionally I'll do something where I've got complementary but not similar sounds, and I want to decide, okay, I want a little more of that orange amp, or I want a little more of that plexi over the normal clean tone. Give it a little more. Or, no, I want all the way clean. Back it off completely. Anyway, that is it. I didn't want to make this too long. Take it easy, keep playing, and have fun.